The stars are aligning in Monte Carlo. For the fallen, reborn.
Paul Tedeschi held onto his chip, his chair, and now he's got over a milli.
The celebrated, resurgent.
So it's been a while since I had a deep run in main event, but I don't care as much about one cash in Monaco. I just care more about making the final table.
The committed, resolute.
Le but c'est de gagner un trophée. Ce serait non seulement déjà incroyable de gagner, mais malgré tout ça restera le deuxième souvenir. Parce que j'aurais vraiment vécu deux choses incroyables dans la salle des étoiles.
Their ultimate destinies have yet to be decided. Fate lies firmly in their hands. With just 4 tables remaining, we've reached the point where everyone starts eyeing a seat at the final table.
Well, Michael Kolkowicz has got to be feeling pretty good. He's the chip leader, and he just got upgraded to the main stage.
Along with Paul Tedeschi, the comeback kid. Somehow he went from like 80K to $1 million in the space of 20 minutes.
Both of those guys are as active as ancient Vesuvius, and things are about to get almost as hot.
Things could erupt at any moment here in the main event as we start edging ever closer to the big money. Last year's champ Jan Bendik's already been sent to the rail, meaning it's time for someone new to make a play for the throne. Amateur player Michael Kolkowicz has so far been a force to be reckoned with. He has the chip lead, and that should concern the field.
Un joueur très agressif et je pense que les joueurs quand ils rentrent dans un coup avec moi, en général ils savent qu'il va falloir mettre des jetons, que j'ai du jeu ou pas. Et ça malgré tout en tant que joueur, et je pense que malgré tout ça rend prudent.
Paul-François Tedeschi has already faced off against Kolkowicz and knows how unpredictable the Frenchman can be.
C'était un joueur très agressif, qui mettait beaucoup de pression, qui faisait de grosses relances. Du coup, c'était très dur de manœuvrer contre lui et il m'a posé beaucoup de problèmes en effet.
Plus, there's a handful of former champs looking to regain their former glory. So who will fortune favour in the end? It's the continuation of Day 4 of the PokerStars Championship presented by Monte Carlo Casino. Hello everyone, it's James Hartigan with Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my babies.
And welcome back inside the Room of the Stars, where 32 players remain in the main event. And right now it's the French amateur Michael Kolkowicz who has the chip lead, close to a 90 big blind stack. The blinds right now are 8,000, 16,000, and we already have action. Hussein Ensan, one of our former champions, is all in and way behind.
AKA my real dad. He lost a big one last time when he got it in dominated, and here we go again.
He's got 9s, Petruszewski has 10s. And there's a 10 on the flop.
All right, Pops, I'll see you at home.
Drawing dead on the turn.
Good luck, buddies.
Thank you. Okay.
Ensan exits in 32nd. He cashes for more than 15,000 euros. Well, just as Ensan was KO'd, we lost Renaud Lejal from the feature table, so we're now down to 30 players. Plenty of big stacks on the main stage, including Li Hon Chong, chip leader Michael Kolkowicz, and Stefan Schilhabel.
I love Sergio Aido because his name sounds like that Wilhelm scream. Aido!
Thanks for that. Action folded here to Douglas Souza.
This guy's got almost 150K in live lifetime earnings.
Pocket 7s, under the gun +1. He raises to 37,000. Aces for Li Hon Chong. Just a call.
It's a little sneaky, but with stack sizes the way they are, it's an okay play.
Round to Paul-François Tedeschi, who's got ace-king in the big blind. And that's a 3-bet. He re-raises to 140K. A quick fold from Souza.
And even though we know Han Chong could get it in here as a huge favorite, flatting is also okay.
He does just call. So heads up to the flop. Tedeschi, just 6% equity. But what a flop. Top pair and a flush draw for Tedeschi. Hon Chong still ahead right now with aces.
But it's still a terrible flop for aces and no heart.
Tedeschi had the pre-flop betting lead. He continues here for 162,000.
And even though I said it's an awful flop for aces, he certainly can't fold yet.
Hon Chong calls. 663,000 in the middle. The turn card, the deuce of spades. Hon Chong now a 3-1 favorite.
Yeah, finally some good news for those aces. And I know it sounds like I'm rooting for Hon Chong, but I'm pretty much just always rooting for aces to not get cracked.
Wow, Tedeschi shoves.
The sick part about this is I bet Tedeschi thinks he wants a call here. He definitely thinks he's winning.
Meanwhile, another elimination from the outer tables. Jerome Brion is out. Lee Hon Chong having a good think about this one. Schilhabel calls time.
Time to before.
We have seen a lot of players calling the clock on day 4 of this tournament.
They are bored as hell and they're not going to take it anymore.
1 more minute to add from that.
60-second countdown begins for Hon Chong.
You can see why this is such a tough decision. You're either going to be a decent but not 100% favorite or totally dead.
Well, it's a decision for roughly 50% of his stack.
It's decisions like this that you avoid if you get it in pre-flop. Still be quite a sweat, though.
We're closing in on the final countdown.
Count down the last 10. Because the range is dead. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
He folds the best hand.
Paul Tedeschi has no idea how lucky he just got there. And I knew there would be one day. This guy folds aces.
Tedeschi's had a roller coaster ride today. His stack currently sits at just over $1 million. And right now players are cashing out for 20k, but there are 6-figure scores up for grabs at the final table, with the eventual champion receiving more than 500,000 euros.
We are closing in on the real money.
At the secondary feature table, 2 former champs are heads up on the flop. Davide Katai has bet 40k with a pair of 7s. Decision on Elke, who's got 2 pair.
Elke finally catching some run good. Not sure about defending with 10-3, but whatever. Let's just pretend like we don't know how we got here.
He raises to 133,000.
I really like this raise. Plenty of draws he can rep, and there's still plenty of hands he can get called by. Probably not this one, but oh, no, it is getting called.
Yeah, Katai makes the call with second pair. This hand going to the turn, which is another 7. Katai takes the lead with trips.
What?
Elke checks.
That loose call rewarded.
Katai taking over the betting. 55,000.
Pretty small bet. And I think it's because he thinks Elke was bluffing before. So I think he's trying to induce Elke into doing something real derpy.
Elke now playing 10s and 7s. Calls. The river card is an 8, so Katai has a lock on this. Elke checks. Katai checks. Showdown.
Yeah, 3 pair no good, Elke.
He loses 230k in that hand.
I feel like we gotta run some kind of hex breaker for Elke. He just gets pummeled by the deck today. Somebody track me down some Eye of Newt, frankincense, and a turkey sub because hex breaking gets me famished.
He's dropped below 350k. Meanwhile, Davide Katai is up over $1 million.
No mustard. It's bad for hex breaking.
Let's head back to the main feature table. Action has been folded to Stefan Schillhabel, who's got pocket jacks. Opens the action with a raise to 37,000. Queen 7 for Souza. That goes in the muck. Lee Hon Chong's in the small blind with ace queen.
I know what you're thinking here. You can't win with aces. Why even bother with a hand that everybody goes broke with?
He elects to call. Pocket 7s for Michael Kolkowicz in the big blind. And the chip leader re-raises. He 3-bets to 127,000.
This is probably a little too aggro. You're in a prime spot to see a flop, and that's kind of turning 7s into a bluff.
Well, he's been called by Schillhabel. Lee Hon Chong folded the ace-queen. And he would have flopped best, but as things stand, Schillhabel is a 96% favorite. He's got a pair of jacks and the best diamond draw.
Now, I don't think Kolkowicz meant to bluff with 2 7s before the flop, but he's gonna have to now.
Continues the aggression, 182,000.
Jacks might still be the best hand, and Schillhabel has that decent flush draw, so he can peel one if he wants.
There's the call, the pot now at 669,000. The turn card, the 6 of hearts. Schillhabel now a 97% favorite.
Well, you gotta hand it to Kolkowicz. For better or worse, he has got both feet on the gas.
Another barrel, 223,000.
And I don't think Schillhabel can call a second time. He doesn't even know if the flush draw's good.
He's a huge favorite here, but he doesn't know it, and he folds!
Folds to the Kolkowicz doctor, because he has got some aggro voodoo.
Wow, the chip leader gets away with one there. And he's now up to 1.7 million here in the Monte Carlo main event. In the heart of the Riviera, 3 French players are dominating the Monaco main event. Michael Kolkowicz and Paul Tedeschi have seen early aggression pay off, getting their opponents to fold better hands. Meanwhile, Elke is on the descent, and he's heading towards the danger zone.
Or as the French call it, le zone dangereux.
Welcome back to the PokerStars Championship presented by Monte Carlo Casino, where Elke could be in action again. At the secondary feature table, there has been a raise from Papazian. Elke has ace-jack in the small blind.
In this, the année de la Roumanie. I already don't like where this is going for Elke. Maybe he should get his old nose back. Maybe all his unluck was getting blocked by his deviated septum.
He has called. Manik Lerza calls as well with pocket 4s in the big blind, so 3-way to the flop. And that flop is ace-high, top pair for Elke.
How are they gonna do it to him this time?
Action check to the pre-flop aggressor. Alexandru Papazian with a gut shot straight draw is betting.
Oh, I know, it'll be a 7.
38,000.
Decent flop for Papazian to keep betting, because if he gets there, his hand will be more disguised than Jean Parmesan, and also him.
Elke calls. Lerza folds, so heads up to the turn. It's the 10 of hearts pairing the board. Elke now a 9-1 favorite.
It's looking like Elke might actually drag a pot here.
Action goes check, check. The river is a 7. Papazian rivers a straight.
Nah, nope, just kidding. Poor Elke, man alive.
Oh, and he's gonna value bet. 72,000. Now, obviously, Papazian isn't folding. Question, will the paired board stop him from raising?
No, I think this is a perfect spot for a raise. I think a 10 will pay you off, and I think some aces will too.
Yep, a raise to 225,000, and we are all sharing in Elke's agony right now.
I mean, I totally understand if he finally just snaps and decides wow, he still keeps making great folds. I don't know how he's doing it.
Gets away from it as Papazian chips up to over $1 million.
So much discipline from the Elkster.
It has seen his stack drop to 205,000. Back to the main stage. Blinds right now at 8,000, 16,000 with a 2,000 ante. Action will be on Paul Francois Tedeschi. He folds. Stefan Huber is out. As is Douglas Souza. Pocket tens for Lee Hon Chong.
Well, we saw him fold aces when they probably would have won. We saw him fold ace-queen when it probably would have won. Tens, let's see what happens.
He opens to 40,000. Michael Kolkowicz, the chip leader, calls in position on the button with Queen-9 suited.
Weird to see him just calling for once, but okay.
Both blinds fold, heads up to the flop. And it's top pair for Kolkowicz.
Of course he hits that over card. This guy runs really, really well in this room.
Only one over to Hon Chong's pocket pair. He will continue betting 50,000.
Now, Kolkowicz is definitely not folding, but can he curb his raising enthusiasm?
He just calls.
All right, all right, all right.
The turn card is a 4.
If you're Han Chong, it's pretty tough to keep barreling here when you're not bluffing and you can't really bet for value either.
He checks the action to Kolkowicz. 218,000 in the middle. Kolkowicz taking over the betting lead. Fires out 60,000. And Hon Chong calls.
Fair.
The river card is another 4. Check.
Kolkowicz should be value betting this.
No, he checks behind.
I don't want to get too technical, but if you're not going to bet that river, it's probably better just to not call pre-flop.
Michael Kolkowicz up to 1.9 million, living a charmed life in a room that holds a very special place in his heart.
Tout à fait, parce que je me suis marié dans cette salle le 17 octobre 2010. Du coup, je considère que cette salle elle me porte vraiment chance. Ma femme est lyonnaise, moi j'étais parisien. Du coup, c'était un bon moyen de se retrouver pour passer les week-ends. Et donc, voilà, on a eu le coup de cœur pour la salle des étoiles. On a fait le mariage religieux, disons, qui était prévu dans les jardins du Monte Carlo Bay. La soirée du mariage, on va dire, dans la salle des étoiles. C'est des conditions qu'on réunit, je pense qu'une fois dans sa vie, d'avoir tous les gens qu'on aime autour de soi. C'est le meilleur souvenir de ma vie. Et ce serait non seulement déjà incroyable de gagner, mais encore plus, voilà, de se dire que j'aurais vraiment vécu 2 choses incroyables dans la salle des étoiles. Ça restera le deuxième souvenir.
I'm usually pretty jaded about marriage, but that actually kind of almost made me have a feeling.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, it seems it is human. At the secondary feature table, Paul Testud has just been eliminated. He receives 20 grand and a hug from the TD.
Double run bad.
He was knocked out by Alexandru Papazian, who leaps into 3rd place on the leaderboard with 28 players remaining. Katai and Tedeschi are at the lower end of the top 10. Michael Kolkowicz is still top dog with close to 2 million. And the blinds are up to 10,000, 20,000 with a 3,000 ante. Action folded to Stefan Schilhabel, who's got pocket kings in the hijack.
Let's do it.
He raises to 46,000. Tedeschi has queen 10 of diamonds and calls. Souza in the small blind. Passes. Lee Hon Chong in the big blind is also out. Heads up to the flop. 9-8 deuce.
Not a bad flop for kings, not good either.
Schilhabel does not continue. Checks the action to Tedeschi.
Interesting approach.
And he bets 58,000.
I kind of like a check call methodology here. He can try to induce bluffs, maybe shove the turn to protect.
Well, he's going for the check raise on the flop. Makes it 195,000 total.
Well, he's definitely raising to protect against weird random hands like Tedeschi's. But I think he might win less in the long run this way.
Tedeschi folds. Stefan Schilhabel up to 882,000. Tedeschi drops down to 915,000. Well, we're heading to the outer tables where last year's Barcelona champ is all in and dominated.
It is Domination Nation.
Sebastian Malitz looking for a 9 to survive. It's a king 6-6 flop. 8 on the turn.
Not good.
And a 5 on the river. Sebastian Malitz departs in 26th place.
Mallets head to the exit.
Well, there's another all-in, this time at the secondary feature table, and this one is a race.
Like mansions versus yachts, one of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage.
Gianluca Speranza with the slight advantage, but he's the player at risk, and he doesn't have the advantage anymore. An ace-high flop sees Katai take the lead. Speranza needs a 4 on the river. He doesn't hit. He is KO'd in 25th.
Good luck, guys.
Katai up to nearly 1.5 million. Speranza receives just shy of 20k. This is his first main event cash.
Yeah, but the important news is that there are 24 players left, final 3 tables.
Time for the redraw. Time for Davide Katai to celebrate with his fiancée Caroline.
Elke not celebrating, but it has been a struggle for him to get here.
So the final 24 will draw for seats around the final 3 tables. Meanwhile, if you would like to play in a main event, qualify now at PokerStars.com. We're down to the last 3 tables at the PokerStars Championship presented by Monte Carlo Casino, where the players' fates have been decided by a redraw. Michael Kolkowicz retains pole position up on the main stage and isn't concerned about who joins him.
Voilà, je joue mon poker, peu importe avec qui je suis à table, je joue mon style de jeu, puis voilà. Je pense que j'ai une image de l'outsider qui peut un petit peu avoir tout et n'importe quoi sur n'importe quelle main, et ça me donne une position confortable.
Well, 2012 Berlin champ Davide Katai will be looking to make things a little less comfortable at the feature table.
I think most of the opponents need to be worried because I'm really playing to win. So I'm ready to take risk and to follow my feelings to get the job done.
Short stack Elke is also gunning for another title, and he'll be hoping for an early double up at the secondary feature table.
Sure, Elke would settle for dragging a pot at all at this point.
Well, Kolkowicz is the tournament boss right now, ahead of the 2 Romanians.
Year of Romania.
Davide Katai currently 4th in chips with close to 1.5 million. Well, let's head straight to the secondary feature table. Elke is all in and behind. Ace-5 dominated by Marius Catalin-Patea's Ace-8.
Maybe they'll chop?
Well, after the flop, there's a 40% chance of a split pot. Elke gets the full double up if he hits a 5 or a 4.
Not looking good for Elke now.
He's eliminated unless the river is a deuce, a 4, a 5, or a 6. It's a 4.
Oh, he got there. Elke got there.
Elke rivers a straight and doubles up through Pattaya.
Elke finally drags a pot, and he gets a full double up.
424,000 for the Elkster. Alas, no such good fortune for Diego Ventura. The former PCA runner-up is out in 24th. At the main feature table, Lee Hon Chong has been 3-bet by Andre Bondar.
All in. Call.
A shove and a call, and Hon Chong is way behind here.
This is the guy who had to make some pretty ridiculous folds, and now he's getting it in with threes. It is not looking good.
A 10-9-6 flop. Kings improved to a 9-1 favorite. Unless there is a 3 on the river, Lee Hon Chong is out in 23rd place. The river card is a 6. Hon Chong is KO'd.
Hon Chong gets the gong. Time to leave the stage.
He will collect 25,700 euros. His chips slide across to Andre Bondar, who's now playing a stack of 1.22 million.
Russian Bono. Hello, hello.
Well, we're heading back over to the secondary feature table where Elke is all in again. But this time, he's got it in good. Ace-King against Ace-10.
He's the favorite, but that hasn't helped him much so far today.
His opponent is Vicente Delgado. The flop. Ace-9-3. Elke's hand is holding for now.
I got a good feeling about this one.
The turn card is a queen, so Elke just has to fade a 10 on the river to get another double up.
I got a good feeling about this one, even if Elke doesn't.
Case ace.
396.
Elke is getting back into the game.
Yeah, he is clawing his way back to average like Batman out of that Bane pit. That kind of made no sense. I'm sorry, it didn't.
Elke currently playing 826,000. We're heading back to the main feature table. Jeffrey Hakim is first to act. He folds. Maxim Panyak is an accomplished qualifier from Russia with more than $1 million in live earnings. He's raised it here with ace-5. Round to Davide Katai in the big blind. He's got 6 deuce.
I don't know why he would even look. It's not like he's ever gonna not defend his big blind.
Sure enough, he calls. The flop is 10-5-4, so second pair for Panyak, a straight draw for Katai, who checks.
Of course he flops something.
Panyak continues for 45,000.
Well, James, you don't defend your big blind with 6 deuce and then fold when you flop a gut shot draw. Come on, it's just one more card.
Katai makes the call. The turn card is a 3, and that is the straight for Katai.
Well, this is rich, and ironically, it's almost as rich as millionaire poker player Davide Katai.
And he's gonna lead.
He kind of has to bet this so it doesn't check behind, and he can go for an even bigger bet on the river.
112,000.
Panyak would check back a lot of hands, including this one. But now he can't. Oh, Maxim.
He calls Katai's bet, and this hand's going to the river. Which is a 7, so now Katai has a slightly better straight.
This might actually be the best card possible for Panyak. Ace-5 is just a terrible hand now, and a bunch of semi-bluffs got there.
425,000 in the pot. Katai bets 250,000.
You never want to believe the aggro guys got it, but this should be a pretty easy fold.
Panyak lets it go.
Davide Katai, that hurt.
Still among the chip leaders, hovering around the 1.5 million mark. 22 players remaining. The day will conclude when we're down to the final 16. Chip leader Michael Kolkowicz is first to act here. Ace-7 under the gun.
Opening this in first position would be loose.
Loose it is. A raise to 58,000.
Story checks out.
Pocket eights for Andre Bondar.
Now, if this hand gets to the turn and river, you can't call them that, James, because the streets have no names.
Oh. He calls. Katai has 7s. He calls as well. The blinds fold, so 3 players going to the flop. Ten, 6, 5. Bondar still best with pocket eights. Kolkowicz checks.
Interesting.
As does Bondar.
He can't really bet with 2 other people in the hand and 1 still to act.
Good tie. That's 75,000.
He's trying to swipe this in position like a pie off a windowsill in an old-timey cartoon.
Michael Kolkowicz may have other ideas.
There we go.
He check raises to 190,000. Bondar, with the best of it, folds.
Bye-bye, Bondar. Unfortunately, this raise is not repping much.
Hence, Katai calls. Heads up to the turn. Which is a 9. Making Katai pretty much a 9-1 favorite in this hand.
Both these guys do have the same gut shot now.
Wow, Kolkowicz just never slows down, does he?
This guy has got more heart than Anne and Nancy Wilson, the sisters that founded Heart.
Kolkowicz bets 235,000. And Katai is still not a believer. He calls, pushing this pot over $1 million and taking us to the river. And that is a get out of jail card for Kolkowicz. They've both made a straight. This is going to be a chop.
Well, now his massive bet is going to be justified.
$640,000. Quick call from Katai. They both have a straight. Chop it up. And you know what they say, Joe? Everyone loves a chop putt. Refunds all around.
The question is more, what do you do when there's no 8 on the river?
The same thing.
That's a much more interesting question. What do you do? If there's no 8 on the river?
I make the same.
So you're a crazy guy then?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, actually. It seemed like a crazy hand, so you're a crazy guy then.
Crazy like a Renard.
Action at the secondary feature table. Romain Nardan has opened with aces. Decision on Raffaele Sorrentino, who's got jacks.
Wolfman's got Nardans and Nardan's got aces.
Sorrentino calls. Folded around to Souza. He passes. Patea is out. Vicente Delgado has ace-king.
Duh, no, this is just a bad cooler. Bad coolers can lead to nuclear meltdowns.
Delgado re-raises to 250,000. Action back on the original raiser.
I'm all in.
Nardan shoves.
Raffaele, you just got so lucky.
Sorrentino gives it a bit of a think.
Just give him one last look. Bye-bye.
Delgado calls.
No aces, but
Not sure why Nardan's standing up and swearing. He's not the one at risk with 5% equity. Well, there's Sorrentino's jack.
Oh, sorry, Raffaele.
Delgado down to 2%. Bit of hope on the turn.
Queen.
Delgado needs a queen on the river to survive, but it's a 7. He is done.
Okay. Luck.
Delgado is Del Gonzo.
That was a ridiculously big pot, by the way, and it sees Romain Nardin take the chip lead. Stacks McNasty 3.66 million.
Wolfman's got Nardins and Nardin's got chips.
Here in Monaco, one hand has catapulted Romain Nardin into the chip lead.
It was like the rush of my life. I will do whatever it takes to make the final table.
But if anyone can catch him, it's the crazy man with nerves of steel, Michael Kolkowicz.
Moi, ça me fait moins peur qu'eux parce que je suis un peu plus détaché. C'est vraiment, je le joue comme une passion et du coup, j'ai l'impression que ça me donne un avantage psychologique parfois.
Well, here at the PokerStars Championship presented by Monte Carlo Casino, 21 players remain, and the blinds are up. 12,000, 24,000 with a 4,000 ante.
Now's when the real poker starts.
And we have just lost a player out in 21st place, Sergei Petrozhevsky.
Oh, jeez.
At the feature table, action has been folded around to Maxim Panyak. He passes, so it's now Michael Kolkowicz on the button. He's got ace-3 of diamonds.
Now, from this position, you can raise a weak ace without it being super loose.
He does raise, makes it 68,000. Francois Tedeschi has queen 3 of hearts in the big blind. And that's a re-raise. He makes it 168k.
Has he not played against this guy before? I'm actually totally behind Kolkowicz putting in a 4-bet bluff here.
Tell me, please, how much you played behind?
Nothing behind.
About 500?
Only Swiss.
Okay, that's an answer, I guess.
No 4-bet from Kolkowicz, just a call in position.
Somehow he takes the more reckless option. That's what he does.
Well, it's an ace-high flop, top pair for Kolkowicz. Nothing for Tedeschi to be excited about.
I call just calling there reckless because you have to flop an ace to win, and even when you do, you have to call down the whole way and just hope it's good.
Tedeschi will still continue. 120,000.
Like in this spot, what's he supposed to do now?
I'm on it.
Well, he can do that. He can move all in. And Tedeschi folds.
He's really got to be careful with moves like that.
Show one.
Yeah, c'est pour toi.
Shows the ace.
10 of spade would have been interesting. More interesting.
Kolkowicz over 2 million now. Second in chips behind Nardin. Tedeschi has dropped below 500,000.
Don't be so smug, Paul. There was a time you were all playing like that.
So remember, we're playing down to 2 tables today. Play will conclude when we're down to 16. Right now we're at 20, but there has been an all-in and a call at the outer table. The player at risk is Lukas Kubicki. He's got Jack-10. He was called by Dmitro Shovanov, the online qualifier, who's got Ace-9.
Shovanov really good friends with Stefan Olenitsky.
Shovanov still ahead. Kubicki looking for a Jack or a 10.
Dismal flop for Jack-10.
6 outs, needs to hit on the river. Misses. He exits in 20th. Kubicki cashes for 25,700 euros. And Dmitry Shovanov moves over the million mark. So with 19 remaining, we're heading over to the secondary feature table, where Elke is going to the flop against two opponents, Douglas Souza and Raffaele Sorrentino.
Seems like between the three of them, they've got all the interesting flops covered.
Well, that is a very interesting flop. Top pair for Sorrentino, flush draw for Souza.
Should be seeing some action.
It's been checked to Souza. He was the pre-flop aggressor.
And now he's going to semi-bluff.
He continues for 74,000.
74?
Sorrentino calls. Elke folds his sevens.
Once again, forced to fold what was the best hand pre-flop.
So heads up to the turn, which is a 3. Sorrentino still ahead with top pair, top kicker.
I guess 10-9 of spades has got to keep betting here.
Another semi-bluff from Douglas Souza, 148,000.
So he's really hoping for a fold, which won't happen here, and then I guess spades is the backup plan.
Once again, Sorrentino calls.
Some smooth passive play from Sorrentino.
651,000 in the middle. Sorrentino's got less than pot behind. Souza did not get there on the river.
Calling.
So he bluff shoves. It's all in to call for Sorrentino, who has got the best hand.
This is a very serious call to have to make. But I think ultimately you have to. Souza is going to have some worse value hands, but a lot of flop draws bricked, mainly spades. So this is a prime spot for a bluff shove. But I will admit, ace-queen is right on the line.
You're never bluffing in this end, right? You don't have any bluff here. Yes, son. You sure if I fall? Who called time? Yeah?
Okay, so you got one must make decision starting from there.
Once again, we see the clock called.
Like ace 5 or deuces. You show ace queen? Sometimes.
A decision for his tournament life.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good call.
Great call.
Really great call.
And he knows it.
What a rush.
Nice call.
Thanks.
Souza's taking it well, and Sorrentino is raking it well.
Up to 1.5 million. Fantastic hand. So back to the main feature table. Maxim Paniak folds under the gun. Michael Kolkowicz has pocket nines and raises to 68,000.
All in.
Tedeschi shoves with King Jack of clubs.
Hello, hello? No.
Back around to Kolkowicz.
He's not folding.
There's been such a big rivalry between these two.
Call.
And Kolkowicz calls, putting Tedeschi at risk. We are off to the races.
France on France.
The flop is 10-5-4. Kolkowicz still ahead with nines. Tedeschi looking for a jack or a king. The turn card is another 10, so no extra outs for Tedeschi. He needs to see a king or a jack on the river. It's a 7. He's out in 18th. After many battles, Kolkowicz deals the final blow, and Paul-Francois Tedeschi heads for the exit.
18th place, we are getting close.
We are indeed. Kolkowicz now up to 2.6 million. So one more elimination, and play will conclude. Day 4 will be in the books.
Who's it gonna be?
It's been folded to the short stack, Jeffrey Hakim, who's got 10-9 suited.
This hand and this spot are pretty solid for jamming. You get a lot of folds, and you're probably gonna even be live when you're called.
He does shove for 304,000. Kolkowicz is in the big blind.
Tell me how much is it, please?
304,000.
He's got a dominating hand.
Of course.
Call.
And he calls.
Domination nation, and somehow France is on top.
Jeffrey Hakim will need to get lucky. But it's an ace-high flop.
It's not good.
He's gonna have to get really lucky now.
Running cards needed. And now he's drawing dead.
Good game. Good luck.
Jeffrey Hakim eliminated by Michael Kolkowicz, who has been incredibly active, aggressive, and successful on day 4. Hakim exits in 17th place, securing his 13th main event cash.
Kolkowicz has got so many chips now he can build the Eiffel Tower.
He's second on the leaderboard, but it's Romain Nardan who'll come into day 5 as chip leader with a stack of more than 3.9 million. Elke's made it into the last 16, but he's one of the short stacks. He'll be very envious of the position his fellow countryman Michael Kolkowicz is in right now.
Je me sens mieux avec des jetons forcément à l'aise, et pour demain, je vais venir à la tête calme, pas trop excité, et essayer de jouer mon poker naturel.
Next time, emotions run high as the final table draws near.
Do it. Do it. No.